Hello, everyone. So I'm doing I'm doing my version of the Jungle Book with dinosaurs and just show you guys, what or what characters the dinosaurs are going to be in the story. Of course, matter of fact, two characters are not dinosaurs, but whatever. You guys get the point. Um, Also, like this is science fiction, of course. Jungle Book is science fiction. you know Also, like, most of these creatures don't live in the same time gap at the same plate. Well, yeah, don't live in the same time gap with each other. Separate time gaps, and etc. And you guys get the point. And yeah, and this is just for fun. And also, some of the characters are actually a little bit oversized than their real life counterparts. And this is also a little bit of scientifically accurate. Just some of the characters are just oversized. Let's just put it that way. But yeah. So Mowgli, our main character, Mowgli is a Neanderthal. Now, I wonder, people, are you thinking, Ethereum, why did you choose Mowgli as a Neanderthal? Well, honestly, I just ran out of ideas, and it is what it is. These are just basically, like, you could say that these are Neanderthals, quote unquote, traveling back in time to the Cretaceous period of Mongolia, and now they're adapting to this environment and they're thriving very well, avoiding competition with the apex predators. And yeah, and you could make an argument that these are the quote unquote Mongolian Neanderthals. You could say. So yeah, Mowgli is a Mongolian Neanderthal. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, and him as a little kid, well, as a child, becomes separated from his parents and was killed by the main character, Shere Khan. But yeah, and we all know who Shere Khan's going to be, but I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah. So who raises Mowgli is the Velociraptors. Now, the Velociraptors, I see a lot of people depicting them in media as, like, they're quote unquote the wolves or the dogs of the theropod world. And I guess that if you want to do it fantasy, well, as science fiction, then yeah, but we all know that dromaeosaurs don't hunt in quote unquote packs like wolves or whatever. But yeah. Also, the Velociraptors, are a little bit, yeah, they're still, like, in their scientifically accurate counterpart. They're not like the Jurassic Park raptors or World Raptors or whatever, but they're just a little bit bigger. Like, in real life, they're like 100 pounds. So they would be like around a little bit heavier, like 130, you could say, for them. And the males and females would be a little bit different. The males in my story would, well, to tell them apart with sexual dimorphism, the males would have more of a bluish reddish color like appearance. The females would have more of a brown. That way you can tell them apart. Aquila, is the main leader, of course, and he is the pack leader, of course, just like in the story, and does the council meeting and etc. And accepts the man cub, Mowgli, the Neanderthal, the Mongolian Neanderthal. Yeah. So this is pretty interesting. So Bagheera is a Kianzosaurus. Originally, I wanted Bagheera to be an Alioramus, but Kianzosaurus is a bigger member, well, is a bigger Alioramid than Alioramus itself. So yeah, that's why. And also, like, in some depictions, Bagheera sometimes does fight with Shere Khan. So yeah, so Keonzosaurus, you know, is bigger than Alioramus. So yeah, that's why. Even though in real life it's not a close fight, again, Keonzosaurus against, well, the main villain, but you'll see in a bit why. And also, they're, just like Bagheera and Shere Khan in the story, they're both related. Well, not biologically related, but I mean, like, related in the family tree. Like, of course, you guys get the point. Like, Bagheera and Shere Khan are big cats. You know, you guys know what I mean. And also, Bagheera would look like kind of like this type of color as well. Now, Baloo, man, Baloo as a Deinonychus, that's pretty interesting. Originally it was supposed to be a Therizinosaurus, but I decided screw it. So Deinonychus seems to be very interesting and fits with Baloo's background, you could say, because Baloo does spend a lot of time in the water. In most reincarnations of the Jungle Book and stuff. And also, by the way, I almost forgot, this is the combination of the 67, 2016, and the Netflix version, Mowgli the Legend. I almost forgot. I should have told you guys later, but it is what it is. So, however, Baloo would still be like the goofy character that he is, not like the drill sergeant like character, but yeah, but he would be like Mowgli's like best friend, and he'll help him out. He helps each other. They help each other out, and yeah, and they both swim, and yeah, and also they're both just like Bagheera. Baloo is also the Mowgli's protector as well from the main villain, of course. So yeah. And also, like, since Deinonychus doesn't have enough screen time that much, with the exception of Prehistoric Planet and some documentaries here and there, but why not you, or like other media, why not you Baloo be a Deinonychus? Because why the hell not? So Tabaki is a Saurornithoides. It's pretty interesting that I choose Tabaki as a Saurornithoides because hyenas are pretty smart, and since Saurornithoides is like pretty much like one of the smartest animals in the Cretaceous period of Mongolia, and it is a troodontid. It makes logical sense, really. In real life, some specimens of Saurornithoides are a little bit larger than Velociraptor, but by the average, Tubaki as a Saurornithoides would be 51 pounds. So yeah, it makes sense. So he does get a bit bullied around and begs for scraps for the Velociraptor. So it makes sense, really, why I choose Tubaki as a Saurornithoides. And here is the main villain, and we all should know who Shere Khan is. A Tarbosaurus. This is where everyone else is coming. It makes sense, really, because Tarbosaurus is the top predator of Asia, and tigers are the top predators of Asia, so put it together, yeah. Shere Khan as a Tarbosaurus makes logical sense. Also, he's a terrifying threat, just like in most incarnations of the Jungle Book, with the exception of the 1930, I mean, no, 1994 film. Sorry, but going a bit carried away. Yeah, and just like his counterpart, he hates humans with a passion. Paid the ultimate price, a scar on his left eye. But also, just like in some reincarnations, for those who don't know, Shere Khan actually has a birth defect on his knuckle. That's why he walks limply, like just like when we saw in the six not 67 for in the Netflix movie. You know, Shere Khan has an actual defect, but Shere Khan as a Tarbosaurus has a like a a defect as a has a pronated arm or wrist or an arm. So his arm's like dangling along, but yet he had on his like right hand, but yet his left eye is fucked. Well, because it's burned because he had a fight with a human. However, like all apex predators, Tarbosaurus and other theropods do survive tough injuries, so I'm pretty sure that Shere Khan as a Tarbosaurus would do the same thing. Toughen it out, and yeah, and also, just like his reincarnations, since Shere Khan is big for a tiger, Shere Khan as a Tarbosaurus is big for a Tarbo. 40 to 41 feet long and 9 tons Rex size. Big boy of muscle and wants to fight and to be the king. Moving on, Colonel Hothie as some sauropods. It's a hard time really what sauropods Colonel Hothie and the rest of his own kind are, but I'm probably going to use just the larger species of sauropods. It starts with an L, but in prehistoric planet they call it the Mongolian Titan, Mongolio Titan. I don't know why, but it's whatever. Um, but Yeah, that's why. And since Asian elephants are the largest land animal in Asia, why not use the largest sauropod as Colonel Hathi and the rest of his kind? Makes sense, doesn't it? And yeah, and it's like imagine like Bagheera and Mowgli looking at these giant sauropods marching around and shit like that. So that would be pretty damn cool for them. But yeah. Moving on. And this time it's another villain. Ka. Now, originally I wanted Ka to be a Titan as a Therizinosaurus as well, but I decided screw it, fuck it. Let's do something OG, and that's, well, make him as a Titanoboa. You know, I am aware that Titanoboa does not exist in the Cretaceous period and does not live in Mongolia, but however, you know, everybody loves Titanoboa, and that's why I choose Ka as a Titanoboa, and it makes logical sense, really. You know, it just does. But, yeah, you know, pretty much, you know, Ka's a, you know, does act like a, well, then again, it really depends, really, because in Mogu the Legend, Ka's kind of like the anti-hero. You know, no, she's not on no one's side, but in the 67 version, she wants to eat Mowgli, and in the 2016 version, pretty much almost the same thing, except for that she also sees she sees the past as well. But yeah. But moving on, King Louis as a Therizinosaurus. What can I say? Well, makes sense, really, because King Louis is a bizarre character, and Therizinosaurus seems to fit him perfectly. So, yeah, that's why. And he's like obsessed with power and everything like that. So, yeah, I choose, King Louis as a Therizino. You know, it just, I don't know, it just fits him perfect. You know, and wants to become the ruler or something. So that's why. And then for the final characters, we got King Louis' henchmen, and these are, well, King Louis' henchmen are Mononicus, so they kidnap Mowgli. Even though that they're small, but they're bigger in the story. So yeah, it just made them a little bit dramatic, oversized, but that way they can kidnap Mowgli. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As for other characters, most characters, would be Protoceratops, Saurolophus, others. The vultures would be some species of Asdarkid pterosaurs. Forgot about them, but they don't exist in the story, but it is what it is. Yeah. So pretty much that these are the dinosaurs. Well, not the dinosaurs. Like these are the prehistoric animals that are in my version of the story of the Jungle Book, and hope you guys like my version. Let me know in the comments. You guys like it? You guys hate it? You guys think it's in between? Let me know in the comments.